If I was in charge of Ableton for one day, these are the 5 changes I would make to Ableton Live. Now, I want to start this video and just simply say thank you to Ableton as a company and acknowledge how difficult and how expensive it is to create an app. If you've ever been involved in the creation of an app or really the creation of anything, you understand the emotional toll it takes in creating it, releasing your work into the world, to have it criticized by people to say, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? I just want to say thank you to Ableton as a company, and then also acknowledge this video is not me telling Ableton, these are the 5 things those idiots got wrong, right? Because your list of what you would like to see is different than my list. There may be some similarities, but I'm primarily going to approach this video from the perspective of running tracks, of running backing tracks in Ableton Live, and the 5 things I wish Ableton would change related to that. Now, this is part 3 of a 3-part series. Parts 1 and 2 were all focused on playback from multitracks.com and Prime from Loop Community. You can see those if you check the links in the description of this video. And those are primarily focused for worship leaders. They were content related to, leading worship, apps for leading worship. In this video, I'm going to talk about the 5 changes I would make to Ableton Live as it pertains to backing tracks. So whether you're a worship leader or not, this video is the right context for you. If you are a worship leader, check out those other 2 additional videos. Now, again, like I said, this is going to be focused on backing tracks. So the first 3 are all kind of related to a bias I have, which is a bias towards running backing tracks in Ableton Live. And they're very niche and specific. So if you're a producer, if you're recording in Ableton Live, your number 5 things you'd like to change are probably a little different. Let's get to mine. Okay, number 1, if I could change anything about Ableton Live, I would make it to where locators that I create in Arrangement View transfer between sets. Let me show you what I mean. So I've got an Ableton Live set open here called Locators, where I created some locators in it. I'm going to open a new Ableton Live set. I'm going to drag this set into it, and you'll see my locators in it come with it. Now, locators are the secret sauce, the way that you can have a linear song, not have to do a bunch of work to get it just to play through like normal. If we do this in Session View, we have to do all this work to chop up our song and then get it to play linearly. It's just going to play linearly by default in Arrangement View, and then we can add locators so that we get the ability to be nonlinear, to repeat song sections, to jump around. It gives us the ability to have a really simple playback rig and then the ability to jump around really, really easily. But I wish Ableton would make it to where locators would come between sets. Now, number 2, similar to locators coming between sets, I wish Ableton would make it to where tempo would transfer between sets. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to open up this locator set here. You see my tempo is set to 185. We'll type that in there. And then let's pull this into our new Ableton set. So we'll hit save. We'll do Command N. We'll drop this in. You'll notice not only did our locators not come with our set, you look up here, 120, our tempo also did not transfer between our set. Now, this is a bummer, particularly when you're performing with backing tracks and you've got different backing tracks, different songs at different tempos, and you want to take those different songs with different tempos and bring them into one live set in Arrangement View. Again, Arrangement View is the best view for adding tracks. If you're doing this in a linear way, not meaning that you don't repeat, but just meaning you're stepping on stage playing songs, you have some sort of structure. We don't want to do a bunch of work to get it to play linearly. We want to just load it in and let it go, and then have the ability to jump around, again, using those those locators in Arrangement View. But I wish the tempo would come with my tracks when I drag from one live set to another live set. Now, the third thing that I wish would come with my Ableton Live set is time signature changes. This is probably the biggest one. So let's go back here. You'll look at my live set. I've got 4/4, 2/4, and 6/4. And as you probably guessed, when I go and open a new live set and drag this in, those time signature changes don't come with it. This is the biggest bummer, because if you have time signature changes, it takes a little bit of time to add those, re-add those to your live set. I have some workarounds to try to work around that, but it would be super, super nice if Ableton would implement the ability to let time signature changes transfer and automatically come between sets. Now, I have some really great solutions to solve all of these issues we talked about, but in particular to allow you to save your tempo with your live set and save your locator information with your live set. So when you bring it into a new Ableton session, when you go to build a set, you're not going to spend a lot of time redoing work. In order to do that, you have to work from a template. I have a free template that you can use by heading to fromstudiostage.com/template. I'll teach you how to use what I call a markers track and what I call a tempo track. And when you implement this and format your songs using this process and following this process, you're gonna be able to build a live set in less than 5 minutes. In fact, I'll link to a video where I show you how I built a live set in less than 5 minutes by implementing this process. Again, to get access to that template, all you have to do is head to fromstudiostage.com/template. Okay, number 4, similar vein, similar process. I wish that when I went to build live sets with Ableton Live, that I could take a Ableton file. Let me show you exactly what I mean here. Take this Ableton file, and I wish I could drop it and say, okay, I want this to start at measure 45, right? I can't do that. It just drops in at the beginning. This is a bit of a bummer when you're building a set. Again, my process of building sets, I can work around it. It's really, really quick. It doesn't really affect me. It doesn't bother me a whole lot, but I wish that Ableton would implement that change, because it would make it really easy to just drag directly from the browser to like Locator 4 to drop song 4 into place. Let me know in the comments if you're feeling my pain on building sets and wishing you had that ability in Ableton Live. Now, number 5. This is one of the most like nitpicky, small little things that really makes no difference in the world. But I would love if Ableton would implement this. Let me show you what I mean, and then I'll tell you what it is. Okay, so let's go to our Ableton Live set here. You can go to a track, right? This is super nice. I can go to a track and I can change the color of my track. I can do the same thing with a clip, whether I'm in arrangement view or session view, right? So let's go to an audio or a MIDI track here. Let's create a MIDI clip just to show what this looks like, right? I could go and I could change the color of this clip to whatever I want. Now, when we got Ableton, I believe it was Ableton 10, maybe it was 10.5, I can't remember. One thing that's nice is I could right click and I could do assign track color to clips. That effectively takes the color of this track and assigns it to clips within that track. That was a huge deal for people like me that try to format our live sets and create them in a way that it's really simple and easy to look at, to know exactly what song is what. That was a huge feature. But here's what I wish, number 5, that Ableton would implement is the ability to copy one track color and paste that track color to another track. Let me show you why this is a bigger deal than maybe it sounds. So if I go right here, I can look at this color, and I have to go and look at this list and go, okay, so this is, if you've ever done this before and struggled with this, you know what I'm talking about. You go, okay, 1 over, okay, top 1. So then to apply this color to this track, I'm gonna go up here, right click, okay, 1 over top 1. Okay, good. Now that's not that bad, but what if we start to get to a color like this, that kind of looks like a bunch of other blues, and I wanna apply it here, go there, and then nope, wrong color. Okay, maybe it's this one. Nope, wrong color. Okay, it's got to be this one, right? Okay, and I finally got it. Now imagine, go with me here. Imagine if I could go to this track and I could have an option here, maybe in this menu that says copy track color, and then I go to this track and I go paste track color. Ableton, if you're out there listening, Live 12, Live 11.5, are we at 11.5 yet? I don't think so. Live 11.5, Live 12, please implement the will dog it copy track color and paste to new track feature. If you do, I'll give it to you for free. You don't have to pay me trademarks on it, but you would make me a very, very happy man. Almost as happy as when we got comping, but not quite. As you know, I'd be way more happy with this than comping. Okay, here's what I want to do to wrap up this video. I want to hear from you, because this is my particular perspective. You might be listening to that last one and going, what the heck, dude? You're that like obsessed over copying and pasting colors? Yes, I am. I want to hear from you. What's the number 1 thing that you wish Ableton would implement and change in Ableton Live? Again, let's be kind, let's be generous, and understand they've done great work and they're doing great work and they continue to put out great updates. But what's the number 1 thing, if you were in charge of Ableton for a day, what's one thing that you would change with Ableton Live? Leave a comment below, let me know. And then number 2, this is the other best thing you could do for yourself and your knowledge of Ableton Live. Hit the subscribe button to the From Studio Stage channel, enable the bell icon. I post a brand new tutorial every single day at 10 a.m. Central. Most of them are not me complaining about copying and pasting track colors, but they're very helpful and beneficial. So if you use Ableton Live on stage or in the studio, hit subscribe, enable the bell icon. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye.